Good morning, welcome back to the channel. It's Tuesday the 9th. That means it's push day, so I'm going to run you through my push day and also a vlog, combination of the two. So this morning I checked in at 123.8 kilograms. Here are my photos displayed now. Got my check-in response this morning, and it is a deload this weekend. And today is a devolume session. Tomorrow is rest, then legs, then rest, and we'll rest the weekend, which I'll go to in a minute and why in which we are doing this. I've never needed a deload more than I do now. I probably have, to be fair, but it's very much needed. And there's a few things that have been cropping up across this past week or two, and I've been holding off. I could have definitely taken it last week, but I knew I was away this coming weekend, so it would just be easier to tie it all in together. Now, photos, holding on to a little bit of inflammation and water, just with the fatigue, you know, being present, and a deload is needed, which I'll go into, but certainly looking a fuck ton fuller. You know, cycle is starting to kick now. In regards to my cycle, in case anyone is wondering, everyone loves hearing about the gear, don't they? So 500 milligrams of testosterone, 300 milligrams of mast, and a gram of primo. Now, oh, and 15 IU of GH. Yeah, so we've been trialing that. Now, with the current setup this week, we are taking a cycle escalation of 600 test, okay? And the mast is going to 400. Everything else stays the same, okay? So that is the job. Now, with that being said, I am now 4th week going into this cycle. So I'm 3 weeks on, going into my 4th. So I'm starting to feel it now. Like yesterday when I was in the gym, I was like, okay, I'm fucking full. Like looking at myself in the mirror, like, okay, it's starting to do something. Sometimes you just know, don't you? It just clicks. And obviously I've had about a kilogram come on this week, so it kind of makes sense, albeit I'm a little bit watery. Did more posing this morning. I'm a good bit tighter, so I'm not too sure what happened. I did have a rough night's sleep the night before. So it kind of makes sense because I don't get on too well sharing a bed. I hate it, in fact. So I need to get used to that. So with that being said, why am I deloading? Right. On the approach on this last week, there's a few things that have been cropping up. One has been joints. For me, it's always the connective tissue. Like, obviously along the way you will pick up certain niggles and stuff like that, but for me, when I know that I've been pushing things to the limit, you know, it's when all my joints have just this dull ache. It's not a pain, it's not an injury, you know, it doesn't stop me training. Like when I'm in my sets, I don't really feel it. It's just like afterwards, it's just like this dull ache. They feel like a bit creaky and dry. That's the first thing that crops up for myself. Now, obviously that's been happening for about a week and a half now, and I've just kind of put it on the back burner because I knew this weekend was coming. But, you know, that's when I'm like, okay, the last thing I want is an injury here, so we need to kind of put it to bed. Aside from that, a lot more mental fatigue. Like, you know, when I was on prep or even like just post-show, I would never ever nap. Like I just couldn't. I couldn't switch off. I didn't feel like I needed to. Had energy all day, and then I would go to sleep and fall asleep very easily. Whereas, you know, this past week I've been getting all my work done. You know, I kind of get on the laptop at 5:30 in the morning, so it is early to respond to my international clients. But then I'll get sort of like my first work block done up until like 11 in the morning, start eating my pre-workout meal, and I'm just on the sofa like snoring for fucking 20 minutes, you know, which is unlike me, and it just kind of means that, you know, there might be some fatigue there that needs addressing. Now, a second to that, libido has dropped. You know, I'll keep it real. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. Sorry, Hope. Still getting the job done, of course, but it's like there's just no drive there, and that's a clear indicator for me that normally, you know, that the body is just like we're too beaten up. We don't want to create babies, right? So like you don't have the drive. You're just exhausted. The body is exhausted, right? And I'm like getting to sort of 7, 8 p.m. and I'm just fucking absolutely ruined, which is fine because I'm up early, but it's just a lot of signs that are coming in. I'm getting a bit more acne than I'm like normally used to in areas that I don't normally get, like down the side of my legs, like my upper back, which I don't normally see it there, which again, high levels of oxidative stress. can cause that. Digestion's good though, appetite's been good, sleep's actually been good as long as I'm on my own. Like I said, I struggle sharing a bed with Hope. I'm just not used to it, so my nights, like 1, max 2 nights a week of sleep gets negatively affected there, but that's it really. But there's a few things there that are just creeping up, and it's mainly the joints and just mental brain fog and feeling a bit just feeling a little bit like I'm just struggling to keep up every single day. Whereas, well, I'll have this little look. At the end of the day, what am I now? 7 weeks post show, 6, right? I didn't have a deload for fucking weeks before the show, and I obviously had a couple days off to compete. So, you know, I've been pushing fucking hard straight off the back of the shows. Like, I've had no time off, like not even mentally. I finished competing, and the following day it was like one of my busiest days ever. I had like 2 setups to do and like 15 check-ins. Like I've had no time off since competing, right? Mentally or physically, because we've been gunning, which I'm happy about, right? Because I've made a fuck ton of progress post-show. But we've been at it, hard trainings from the get-go. Like, I haven't eased in whatsoever. I've just gone at it. Mentally, you know, I've been flat out with coaching and work. Busiest time ever, the most busy I've ever been. So this weekend we're going away to staying in like a log cabin for 2 nights, Friday afternoon to Sunday morning, and the whole of Saturday I'm just going to be off my phone, no laptop, no phone, zero connection to the outside world. Just take a little bit of a downtime mentally, and also just take 3 days off lifting, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, fully off. That's how I like to do deloads. I'm doing a devolume session today and then for legs. But for me personally, I like just having full days off, because when I go in the gym, it's like, if you say, oh yeah, just have a pullback, it's hard to do that. You know, you get carried away in the moment. When I'm in the gym, I feel okay. I feel fine. It's been a couple sessions like legs where I'm like, after my pivot set, I'm like, oh my fucking days, I literally feel ill from how fucking hard we've gone, right? But and then I've also, you know, got this fatigue lingering. It's like, I get out of the gym, I'm like, I feel like I've given myself the flu, and then you have a good night's sleep, you're all right. But, you know, it's hard to pull back in the gym. Whereas if I go, right, these next 3 days I'm off, like low steps, no morning cardio, just literally chilling. We got a fucking hot tub at this log cabin. You know, we're going out for a nice meal Saturday night. It's just going to be pure relaxation. I'll come back Monday, bang, I'll be back into it, fresh, ready to go. You know, when you've just been pushing hard for a long time, you're like, I could do with a few days off. And let me tell you this, these days off, this trip is my only fucking time off I've had this whole year. Yeah, I've not been on holiday whatsoever. Yeah, and even then, I'm not going to miss any check-ins. I'm going to get them done on the Friday and the Sunday when I get back. So, you know, it's what it takes to be fucking, you know, build your coaching roster. Yeah, I just don't like stepping away. I enjoy what I do, okay? And I just don't feel like I can take 2 weeks off. Like, it wouldn't feel right saying to my clients, yeah, I'm not checking in for 2 weeks. They're paying me for a service, and plus I like what I do. I fucking love my routine. I love my setup with my own routine, with my own bodybuilding. You know, I haven't felt like I've needed a holiday. It's just, I don't know, like for me, this little short break is enough for me. A few days away, it's in the Peak District or Lake District, can't remember now, and it's an hour and a half away. Easy. Chip away there. Don't have to get on a fucking flight, don't have to pack for 2 weeks. Back home, job done, back to business, finish the year off strong. Bosh, go see my family end of the year, finish the year on a high, and that's it. So anyways, without further ado, waffling there, we have meal 1 going down right now. Meal 1 going down. I'm an artist, and the plate is my canvas, ladies and gentlemen. So sourdough, you know the score, you've seen it time and time again, 100 smoked salmon, bank breaker, 3 fried eggs, wild rocket, some, chili flakes and oregano on the eggs. Look at that. And then 50 cream of rice, and that is salted caramel. I've actually changed my ways, guys. moving away from the caramel biscuit cream of rice, and I'm absolutely loving the salted caramel cream of rice. And also my whey, I'm having, I'll show you it later, it's the chocolate caramel whey. So the salted caramel cream of rice with the chocolate caramel whey is honestly my new favourite shit. It's so good. It feels like I'm on prep again when I'm eating it. You know, when you're just like, you don't even want to swallow it, it's that good. That's what she said. And then 100 blueberries with cinnamon on top. So that is meal one, guys. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this. Sit there amongst my washing that needs to be put away and watch some TV. And then we'll get to work, eh? On the topic of deloads, recovery, all that type of stuff. Now, not everyone needs to worry about this type of topic. I know that sounds like, oh, just trying to be hardcore, you know. For instance, if you're an early, intermediate, beginner, you shouldn't be worrying about, oh, am I doing too much? You need to be worrying about, am I fucking doing enough? How can I do more? Yeah, think about that and making sure that you're trying to do as much as possible whilst being able to recover. Don't get me wrong, you don't want to just do excessive volume, but if you're doing excessive volume, you're not doing enough intensity. So for me, for example, I didn't even know what a fucking deload was for years. Sure, could I have made more progress by being more knowledgeable when I was younger? Yeah, but it's not something I worried about. It's something that I thought when I was going into the gym, I was like, right, how can I do more? More reps, more weight, etc. Week to week to week to week, months and months on end, like not thinking, oh, I don't want to, you know, obviously right now I'm in a position, right, where I'm 123 kilograms, right? I'm shifting some fucking heavy loads. I do need to be concerned about recovery for injury prevention. And also I'm training, I've tapped into an intense level of training that does need to be managed. When you're shifting 1-2 plates aside, when you're, you know, an early intermediate, you know, you're kind of year or two into training, you're not driving that much fatigue. Obviously it's all relative, but it's like you can do a lot more than you think. Your body is a lot fucking hot, a lot more durable than everyone makes out. We're not fucking made of paper. The body can withstand a ton of stress, and it adapts to it. It adapts to volume. It adapts to fucking intensity. So if you're not an advanced lifter, you know, you're not at that point yet, don't be fucking too concerned. If you're worrying about that and you're not growing and you haven't got a substantial amount of tissue, you're worrying about the wrong thing. You should be thinking, how the fuck can I get more done? How can I sleep better? How can I recover better so I can do more sets, more fucking intensity in the gym? Not, ooh, you know, what's the least amount of volume I can do and still progress? Like, I'm seeing people talk about that. It's like, do you even enjoy lifting, mate? The whole point of us bodybuilding is because we fucking love to train. If it was up to me and if it was like, the best way to train is being in the gym for 4 or 5 hours, I'll be there, trust me. But obviously we know it's not the case. But yeah, and there's just people always having issues, isn't there? Like, you know, I have some clients or just like people I know in the gym or whatever, it's just always a problem. Got this issue, there's always something that's stopping them training. There's always something that's stopping them keeping on plan. Oh, I got bored of this food after 2 weeks. Can I have this substitute? After every other week, you know, this isn't right. This exercise, I'm not feeling that deep connection with my pec. And this is like, bro, if you're lifting with proper execution, it's working, all right? Sure, if the machine's shit, I get it. But like, I think people, as much as I like to analyze things, trust me, I would say I'm science-based, right? I'm not this new age of fucking science-based that are actually just ego lifters in disguise. I'm also not the fucking low-intensity science-based, but I am evidence science-based. You know, I like to delve deep into biomechanics and, you know, I look at data and stuff like that. But I've earned that right because I've been doing this for almost a decade and I'm in a position where I've maximised intensity. I've got everything nailed. Okay, now I'm looking for those finer details. If you're early in your journey or even, you know, a couple of years in, people just analysing shit to death to their own detriment, right? It's like, just fucking get in there and get after it, mate. Like, honestly, I don't know whether that makes me sound a bit too old school or whatever, because I'm not. I would say like I'm a lot more science-based than the vast majority of fucking people, but there is a balance. There is a balance between being a little bit bro and a little bit science-based. And that in the middle is the key. Not being analysing your setup and your lifts and everything like that and your processes enough, but not to the point where you're actually holding yourself back. Which I see a lot, honestly, especially with the young ones as well. Like, you're fucking, like, some people look like they don't even lift, bro. And that's not even like a meme, like, do you even lift, bro? Like, if they took their top off and stood in front of me, I'd say, I've never even seen you in a gym, mate. Like, you look like you've never stepped foot in a gym. And they're typing out fucking essays on my posts about all this, like, fucking shit that just is absolutely irrelevant that I've never even thought about. If I've got to my position now, 123 kilograms shredded, and you're looking like you've fucking just come out of school with zero muscle, trust me, mate, you do not need to worry about this. You need to worry about going hard in the gym until you cannot go anymore. Eating enough food to grow, sleeping good, training with good execution. That's it. Push body weight up. Honestly, trust me, do that for a fucking few years and you will get a ton of progress. Someone here who goes into the gym, might not be perfect form, but, you know, lifts safely, but goes fucking hard, just eats enough food, sleeps good, low stress, chilled guy, him versus this guy who overanalyzes everything, reads all the studies, adjusts his training splits and all those new studies, eats in a tiny surplus because you don't, bulking's vaulted, main gaining is the way, you know, whatever, probably spends his whole fucking evening on TikTok typing out essays, arguing with people. Trust me, mate, even though this guy's got an ego up here and thinks he knows it all, this guy will progress more. This guy will fucking look like a child and a swimmer for another 5 years because he never actually puts the effort in. He never sticks to anything long term. That's my rant for the day. Bit of it goes off on a few tangents, but people just, the summary of this, just get on with it. Meal 2 going down, food prepared for the day. Bosh, 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 rice here, chicken prepped, veg prepped, and we have meal 2, which is 100 gram of jasmine rice, 200 gram of chicken breast, raw, both raw, dry weight, 30 gram of avocado, and 100 veg, which is mushroom and spinach, then 100 pineapple. Again, best meal. Perfectly digested, delicious fuel. Now, for me, I'm extremely busy today. I've got 15 check-ins today and a setup to do, so I'm pretty much going to be flat out from now till we go train. So then next time we speak will be pre-workout meal, and then I'll run you through my full push day, which is exciting. If you are wanting to get involved with my coaching, I would do it sooner rather than later, and this is not some bullshit, I'm looking for 5 guys. 5 busy professionals. No. All I'm saying is I'm taking the week off of taking on new clients whilst I'm back home with my family so that my workload is condensed to my own clientele, check-ins, form clips and responses, and I'm not taking on new people just so I can spend more time with my family. I will still be working. I am only taking Christmas Day and Boxing Day off. All check-ins will still be done. So yeah, if you're wanting to get set up for the new year, do it the week before Christmas, or it's going to be set up the week of the new year. That is your warning, all right? So yeah, let's get it, guys. First work block complete, check-ins concluded, got through all the responses, form clips nailed. Time to eat the pre-workout meal and get ready for our session today. We have Old Faithful 125 gram of dry weight jasmine rice, 150 gram of raw weight chicken breast, 50 gram of veg. Then we have 100 banana on top with the cinnamon. I will then add my 0% fat Greek yogurt, 15 grams of that on there. Bish, bash, bosh, real good nosh. So never complain about being busy, ladies and gentlemen, because there will be a time where you are quiet and you will wish for more things to do. That goes for especially people who are self-employed, right? You know, at the moment I am absolutely flat out and it's very easy to let yourself get a bit overwhelmed and stressed, but you got to be grateful for it, because there will be times when you're quieter and you think, oh, you know, I would like some inquiries, I'd like some. So make the most of it. Don't moan, get stuck in and embrace it. When you are busy, that is you being tested as well. If you can nail your habits, your routine, your structure when you're busy, when you become quieter, it's a fucking breeze. And, you know, people that work very hard jobs, bricklayers, scaffolders, nurses, these types of jobs, right? I've done my fair share. I know I'm a coach now, but I'm 31. I didn't become a full-time coach till I was 27. Worked on sites. I was, my long list of jobs, to be fair. I've been a lifeguard, in-person PT, I've been a quantity surveyor, I've worked bar work, pubs, late nights, doing that, promoting work. That was good times in clubs, club promoter at uni. What else have I done? I've worked in a bank, did like labouring on sites and shit like that when I was younger. So, you know, I've done my fair share of different bits. But anyway, my point being is, when you are someone who has a job like that, rather than playing the victim, oh, woe is me, I just can't, ever using it as an excuse, fucking lean into it. You know, this is hard, but I'm taking pride in the fact that I can manage it. I've, you know, lads that work very difficult fucking manual or like stressful jobs. I've ladies, female clients that are more nurse-based stuff, like 12, 14-hour night shifts, yet they're getting shit done. And, you know, they're not ever complaining either. They're always the ones that have the crazy work ethic because it's been built into them and they've learned it. They've built the discipline through their work. So don't feel like a victim. Don't think, woe is me. Think you get to the end of the day, that was a fucking hard day's work. You know, you got all your shit done, think, I am a fucking champion, right? I'm a killer. No one else is doing this. Yeah, I'm working harder than everyone else, and take pride in that. Yeah, and get that buzz, get the buzz of that, rather than feeling the fucking sorry for yourself. Feel like a champ. All right, so hopefully that helps someone. But yeah, and if you don't work those hard jobs, and you got an easy gig, and you can't stick to your fucking meal plan and training plan, be embarrassed. Because there's people with a lot worse off than you, with a lot harder work than you, with a lot more responsibilities, kids, whatever. I actually had a woman who was a single mother, right? Obviously had childcare and that. Single mother though, which is fucking comes with a lot of challenges in itself. Also was a nurse, night shifts, and dropped 30 kilograms of body fat. So, you know, it's that type of stuff that gives me a buzz. It makes me inspired. She inspired me. Anyways, let's get this eaten. Bit of YouTube, lay on the couch, prepare myself, look at the logbook, and then we'll reconvene with the supplementation. Where we go, time for push, ladies and gentlemen. Follow along. This is a low volume day today. As you well know, as we discussed earlier, we are having a deload this weekend. So today is going to be push, one set across the board with all my compounds and then 2 on the isolations. Now, intra-workout, 25 grams of EAA's Essential Gains, strawberry laces flavor, carb drive, replenish the glycogen stores. That is going to be an unflavored, because these two mixed are perfectly fine and taste amazing. So you don't need both to be flavored. So I'll drink that in about 400 milliliters halfway through the session as I start to, burn through my pre-workout meal. About 2 hours after my pre-workout meal. Creatine, 10 grams in the pre-workout. Mega Pump, 1 serving, which is cherry flavor. Very, very, very nice. And then Conviction for the stimulation. Stimulant, a nootropic. Both of these have nootropic in them for focus. And that is strawberry laces as well. So then the theme is cherry and strawberry, because this HydroFlow, where is it? HydroFlow is cherry flavor as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. push day going down. So I'll start every push day with some single arm cuffed pullovers, just to get some blood into the lats. I find it makes me a lot more stable in pressing movements, and we are going into a dip as well. Just getting some blood into the lats, I just feel a lot more stable, and the ability to brace is easier. Nowhere near failure. It's just one set, getting some blood in there, sort of like 3 rep in reserve, something like that, if I had to put a number on it. Before this, I'll use a resistance band, just kind of stretch out, put it behind my shoulders, put it behind my back, and do some rotator cuff work. And then straight into triceps. As you well know, I'm trying to build my arms as priority, so we start off with tricep work. This is how I like to align it. If you just watch myself adjust it here, kind of want to like step in front of it like that and then twist, and then keep the tricep up against the torso. And then I like to bring it across like this. I then use a lot less. When I'm pressing it down, I find I just use way too much sort of front delt, and kind of lean over it too much. If I'm standing away from it like this, and I'm almost pressing it out away from me, I find it's just way more isolating for the tricep. 2 sets here, 8 to 12 repetitions. I'll actually do a lighter set first and then go into a heavier set once my elbows are warmed. So I'll do sort of like a 12 repper and then into sort of a heavy 8 repper. Today, this is only 1 set though, because it's a deep volume. Then into weighted dip, this is 1 set every single week. Just 1 set of this, heavy enough, 5 to 9 reps. This is very much a cruel mistress for me. I haven't quite mastered this yet. It's still a little bit wobbly, but I would very much love to run this up and get strong at this. Just 1, because it's anabolic as fuck, but 2, amazing to build out the triceps. I want this to be quite tricep dominant. I've only got a 20 kilo and a 10 on this. My training partner has 50 on there, but he's a very stable guy. He's got shorter levers. That's my cope, like I said before. Anyways, this is 1 set here, like I said, 5 to 9. Normally chalk my hands, forgot today, and they did start to slip, so it was very fucking annoying. So make sure you chalk your hands when you're doing these. Trying to just make it very hard in the hole, to be honest. Stretch, so it's very hard in this stretched position here, and the more I do them, the more stable I am. I felt a lot more stable doing these. When I first did these, I was like rocking all over the place. A lot of the time with these sort of free weights, should we call it, movements, the first few weeks are just honestly just trying to fucking learn the movement. Training is a skill. So there'll be a lot of adaptations with weight initially, and then all of a sudden you'll hit a wall with strength, and that's when you just got to be very patient with it. Into an incline prime press, loaded fairly heavily in the lengthened, just because that's where I tend to fail in the midpoint. Here I'm, as you can see, dropping the elbows, okay, trying to make this pretty damn fucking hard in the lengthened, because that's where it's loaded. So like, almost just a tiny micro pause. I don't want to be bouncing out the hole in any ways. Big brace, inhale, force all the air into the midsection and drive out. This is 2 sets normally, sort of 6 to 10 rep range, but today it's just 1 because it's a D volume. So yeah, simple enough. Then into the pec deck, 2 sets here, 8 to 12. Now, with this, as you can see, I've got this set up with the fat grips. Me personally, I like to have my hands open, and it's not open. My hands gripped with the wrist wraps, whatever you want to call them, but not gripping the bar, because I like to drive my bicep into my pec, and focus on driving my elbows together rather than my hands. And I find by having my forearms on the bar rather than my hands, I focus on the elbows more. This is honestly one of the craziest connections I ever feel with my chest. I've got this absolutely nailed. And look at the range of motion, guys. We don't have to overdo range of motion with this in the stretch. If you are pulling this back, right, and then to get range of motion, you're letting your shoulders raise, you've gone too far, okay? This is pretty much the range of motion that you need, keeping your chest up and proud, Okay, keeping your rib cage stacked and keeping your shoulders depressed all the way to the end. If you ever have to raise your shoulders in the stretch position, you've gone too far. Okay, and then you want to focus on driving the elbows together and almost protracting them forward, your shoulders forward in the short. Now into a tricep extension here. Not everyone has this, obviously, but goal of this honestly is just trying to make it extremely hard in the stretch position. I've already done a tricep exercise that's hard in the short, which is the cable push down at the beginning. So this I'm loading it on cam 3, so it's very hard in the stretch and kind of just milking that position there, almost a little micro pause. So, this one here is fairly simple. Just keep the fucking upper arm on the pad to some degree. I don't mind the elbows coming off a little bit. And then also, if you have one of these, it's important to be driving with your legs to push you back into that pad. Otherwise, your core is going to be absolutely lit up. Otherwise, you're like kind of trying to keep yourself forward. If you actually drive yourself back from your legs into that back pad, it's a lot more stable. 2 sets there, 8 to 12. Then here we got 2 sets, again, 8 to 12. So seated machine laterals. With this, I'm thinking about driving my fists into the floor, keeping the shoulders depressed and actually reaching out and touching the walls either side. Don't mind them coming up a little bit higher. People say, oh, you bring your traps into it. Well, I don't mind bringing my traps into it. I want bigger traps. So the main thing is just keeping this nice and controlled and not sitting in the stretch position for too long.
There we go. Back home, showered, moisturized, and ready to eat. So that was a great session. Only a D volume, but everything just felt very stable. Like I can feel the cycle is kicking in now. Coming off the back of competing, going straight into a health phase. As you bring up the food, obviously my gear's coming down, so you do start to feel stronger, like especially when I've been like sucking down to a weight cut for a long period of time and very, very fucking lean, peeled, and then all of a sudden you get some food coming in. Even though the gear's coming down, you start to feel a bit stronger in that. And I just went into the gym with all intent and purpose of being in a full-blown off-season, and I forget that I'm on a cruise. Like whenever I'm on a cruise or a health phase and you bring the gear down, I never ever think, oh God, I'm feeling, I'm not on blast. Like I should be feeling weaker. I go in with the thought of progression, and I completely forget most days that I'm even cruising and I'm not blasting, which means that, for the most part, I maintain my numbers and I pretty much forget. And then when I've put the gear in now, again, you kind of just forget. It's just different amounts going in the syringe. And then to like the last few days, all of a sudden I'm like, fucking hell, like I'm looking at myself in the mirror in the gym. I'm like, okay, we are on now, like movements feeling, I'm not seeing like big jump in strength because I never really drop strength. And, the stronger you get, the harder it is to make these like big progressions, but things just feel a lot more stable. Like my joints feel a lot more stable, body weight's feeling a lot more stable, like my body in a movement, right? As the body weight's coming up. So, a message for you guys. If you are assisted, when you go into a cruise or a health phase, your mind is your worst enemy. If you're 1 week into a cruise and you're going, oh God, I'm losing reps, I'm losing strength, I'm feeling flat, bro, your fucking levels aren't even bottoming out yet. You're not even anywhere near where you should be in regards to like physiological or even at the bottom of it takes weeks for those your hormones to drop. So if you're 1 week into a cruise and getting weak, that's all in your head and that's a fucking weakness up here. You're going into a session expecting it to happen, so it happens, right? If you just think, fuck this, like I'm going in to progress, you will. And for the vast majority of that cruise, until it gets to sort of week 4 or 5, you shouldn't feel any different, in my opinion, in my experience anyways. So great session, freshened up now, time to eat. After I've finished my session, I obviously walk home. It's about a 10-15 minute walk home. Sit down, let my heart rate come down. I'm talking to you guys today, but normally I just sit here, watch some TV, about 10 minutes. Once the heart rate is down, then we eat. The best digestive enzyme, the best digestion hack, the digestion secret is chewing your food slowly, taking your time with it in a calm environment. There is no digestive supplement, no hack that will beat that. If you think about it, when you're eating your food, if you're biting off big chunks of your chicken breast, whatever, and you're just swallowing it, big lumps, that's got to then get broken down, right? Your stomach acid has got to break that shit down. So it takes longer, and it will sit in your stomach for longer, right? You'll be bloated, gassy, and it'll just sit there, and you won't have passed it by the time you next eat. The best thing you can do is chew your food about 20 times each bite. So it's like a literal fucking mushy paste in your mouth, and swallow it. So it's already done all the hard work for the digestive system. Then once it lands, clears it, and you'll be ready for your next meal quick time. And in a calm environment, you want to get that nervous system into rest and digest. So when you finish your session, heart rate's through the roof, especially if you've taken pre-workout, you blast the music, get that off, you drive home from the gym, walk home from the gym, calming music, rest, get rested, and sit down, let the heart rate come down. You do not need to eat immediately after your session. You should wait. Let the heart rate come down. Once the heart rate comes down, you're feeling a bit chilled, then eat. And trust me, your digestion will be so much better. Not only digestion in regards to you won't be bloated, but you'll actually absorb more of your nutrition. Your nutritional absorption will improve, and you'll get more out of your food by actually just eating in a calm state. Same as anything. Same at any point of the day, but most importantly post-workout, because we're normally very irate and like in adrenaline mode, right? Fight or flight, so we need to bring that down. Anyways, with that being said, it's time for me to eat. We have the new flavors. Oh yeah. We got the new flavors. So that is 125 gram of salted caramel cream of rice by Conte, 150 gram of blueberries, cinnamon, got my salt on there, but then 50 gram of chocolate caramel whey. If you use my code at Conte, it's Joe10. Now, these are my new flavor updates. You know me, been watching me, I like the caramel biscuit, cream of rice, normally in salted caramel whey, but I've recently gone on to this, where they were sold out, and oh my days. Obviously, it's nice to make a change, but this flavor combination is the one. It's probably the chocolate and caramel when made very thick like this. I like it really thick and juicy, you know that. Then put into the fridge, it's like a mousse. It's pretty much as close to like a dessert you'd buy in a restaurant as it gets. Obviously, that is with my kind of low-fat version post-workout. In the evening when I got the almond butter and the dark chocolate, fucking hell, it is actually heaven. It feels like I'm on prep again, where you're just like, oh, every bite, you're rolling your eyes back. So get on that. If you like it, let me know, drop me a message what you think about it, or comment on the YouTube vid what your favorite flavors are. This is my new favorite go-to, so someone please try this flavor combo and let me know how you get on. So yeah, I'll enjoy this, sit down, watch some YouTube, let's go. Bloody hell, guys. Got halfway through this meal, just remembered I'm vlogging today. Such a failure. It's the first time I've ever done that. So, don't know if you can see that. 50 gram of jasmine rice, 200 gram of lean beef mince. We got veg. I've put chopped up bell pepper and cooked that in the air fryer, so it's like charred. It's very nice. I have that in my last meal. Ooh, so adventurous. Bit of veg. And then what else? 100 gram of veg, just total. Put a couple those tiny little tomatoes in there, just to bulk out this meal because it's pretty pathetic. And then the sauce is the 0% fat Greek yogurt, so simple enough. Oh, it is nice though. I just love beef. It's a good idea, guys, to mix up your protein sources and carbohydrates. I could easily just eat chicken and rice all day, every day, but it can happen where when you just overuse something like chicken breast all day, every day for weeks, months and years on end, you can actually build up an intolerance to it. And the last thing I want, if I got a jasmine rice intolerance, my life would be over. So, different micronutrients and, all that. I think it's just quite good to mix things up a little bit. By that, I don't mean changing your foods day to day, but across the day, having a few different varieties of protein intake, whether that's eggs, whey, chicken, beef, maybe some seafood. But yeah, of course, sometimes it's not as easy as that. If you're very pressed for time, busy, you only want to be cooking one meat sauce, whatever, which is fine, but I would try and get like 2, 3, rather than just eating chicken all day, every day. Anyways, that's the one. Tomorrow is a rest day, which I'm actually very much looking forward to. We're normally doing pull, push, legs, rest, but because I've got this deload coming at the weekend, I'm going to do pull, push, rest, legs, rest, then have the weekend off. So yeah, other than that, just relaxing tonight. I've pretty much just done all my work. I've got things done a little bit earlier tonight than usual. It's 6 o'clock now, few replies. As an online coach, what happens is, do all your responses, plow through everything, clear the WhatsApp, put my phone away, eat, open up your phone, you've got about 20 WhatsApps, clear through that, relax for the evening. Ding, 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 ding. It's a job that's never ending. Not that I'm complaining, I fucking love it. But it's quite funny. It's like, do you know what? It's one of those ones where you got to have a passion for it. And that's the difference. How you can tell who are good coaches and who are, coaches that have shit response times and they don't deliver a good service. It's because it is a very full-on role, especially when you're a busy coach. So if you don't love it, you're certainly not going to be very good at it, because you have to love it. It's like anything. If you love it, you're going to be good at it, because you're going to put your passion and all into it. And I do actually build up probably shouldn't, but I build up like an emotional connection. Emotional connection, is that the right word? Bit soppy, but like, not emotional connection, emotional investment into my clients. Like, I feel like sometimes I care more about their progress than themselves when they're just, half-arsing it and whatnot, if that's the case with certain people. But, you build up an emotional investment, and whether people say you should or shouldn't, I think it's a good thing, because then I want what's best for them. Like, I want them to progress. When they win, I win. And when I get a client that does a wicked transformation, and especially when someone comes to me who's, come from really poor habits. I've done some massive fat loss. I actually did a fat loss transformation that was 75 plus kilograms loss. He was 150 kilograms, got him down to 75 for a photo shoot, which is mental, in 18 months. And stuff like that, man, it's so rewarding. Obviously working with like a competitive athlete who is already good and you make them better is obviously very fun and rewarding, because it's like working with someone like myself. Like, you just set them a plan, they follow it, amazing. It's very low maintenance and fun. But the ones that take a bit of work, you're trying to inspire them, you motivate them, you're tapping into what makes them tick and trying to get the best out of them. There's a lot of up and downs, and then you make that final transformation and their whole life has changed. I've had people that hate their life, hate their job, they're depressed, and turn their life around, they take a new career path, and you see the confidence in their eyes, and so much happier. It's so rewarding, right? So yeah, anyways, I don't even know what that tangent was, but just more chatting and trying to fill some time whilst you're meal prepping, right? You're either meal prepping, you're eating cream or ice, or you're on the stairs, or you're doing steps. That's what seems to be the theme with people watching my videos. Anyways, enjoy your cream or ice, stairs / steps. I'm going to enjoy this halfway through it, and we'll speak from my last meal. I'm a very happy man right now. I've got my last meal, got a candle lit right next to me. I'm sat here on my own watching The Last Kingdom, at peace. I've had a good day, right? Made progress in the gym, worked hard, and that's happiness to me. You don't have to be here, there, and everywhere. Comparing yourself to influencers will be the death of you. You don't have to be here, there, and everywhere. In the clubs, doing this, doing that, driving Ferraris, in Dubai, beach clubs, all this and that, making millions a month selling courses. If you're paying your way, you're paying your bills, you are healthy, above ground, okay? You might be lifting if you're bodybuilding. If you're lifting, you're blessed already, because you've got an able body, you've got enough finances to buy food, to buy supplements, you've got internet connection, and either a phone or a laptop because you're watching this. You're fucking doing all right. There might be some hardships in your life, but if you're above ground, you can improve, you can get better. But remember this, what you see online is not real. Even this, I'll try to keep it as real as possible. Yeah, I'll show my boring, mundane days. This is my life, right? Training, eating the same meals every single day, get to the evening, I watch the same Netflix, go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. You see it, right? Even then, there is still somewhat created to show you what I want to show you. I don't show you everything, yeah? So imagine someone who's not keeping it real, someone who's, you know, manufacturing an image online. They want you to see, they show you what they want you to see only, right? So when you see an influencer driving this, driving that, oh, we've got this house, most of them are in debt, right? They're not happy. They're spending all this money because they're insecure. They have no real mates. If you have a good few set of close friends that would fucking ride out for you, yeah? When you're in trouble, you can call up. If you're in fucking prison or something, you need bail money or whatever, something like that, you are in trouble, you call them in the middle of the night and they'll come get you and they'll help you. You've got, you know, some sort of loved ones, whether that's family, close friends, that will fucking help you in times of need. You are fucking better than most of these influencers because half of them have acquaintances, they have people that leech off them. They have people that the only reason they hang out with them is a transaction. They get something out of it. They don't have no real mates, because I know a lot of them, and they don't have fucking real personal mates. It's all fake. They're hanging out with people because it's a transaction. If you've got real motherfuckers by your side, you are fucking good. Yeah? And if you are a family man, woman, you're looking after kids, you're blessed, you're doing well. Don't let these fake lives make you feel like you're worse off than them or you're behind. You're more fulfilled than them, I can guarantee. So remember, if you're getting up and you're bodybuilding like me, or you got something on the same path, the same sort of that gets you going in the same way, you have a passion, you're doing it every single day, no matter your circumstances, you're fucking blessed. There's a lot of people that don't have any direction, they have no purpose, they just wake up, eat shit, feel like shit, look in the mirror, look like shit, go work for someone else, come home, eat a fucking microwave dinner, watch TV, go bed, go out at the weekend, get pissed, forget everything that happened Saturday night, Sunday, you know, rot in bed all day, refresh, save up for a week's holiday, repeat that for 10 years. You know, we've all been there, I've been there, living for the weekend, right? Some people, if you're in that position, you need to find a passion. But if you're not in that position, you're actually doing something you fucking enjoy every single day. It doesn't have to be a dream job. If you're doing something that doesn't make you miserable, you're doing all right. Just my point being is, we always look for the negative. We always think we're hard done by. We think others are doing better. But social media is not real. If you were living even 10 years ago, but 20 years ago, pre-social media, you'd be so much fucking happier, man. You know, just think, you would only have, you wouldn't see what everyone else is doing. So all you'd have is stories that someone would tell you in real life. You know, you're very happy just going about your day-to-day life. You have nothing to compare it to. You might meet someone in the gym or whatever, or, you know, at work, and they're like, oh, I'm going on holiday this weekend, I'm going Maldives, or, you know, I'm going Dubai or whatever. You go, oh, sounds good. You might, you know, think about it for a second and then back to your normal life. But we're looking at it, we're seeing it, it's thrown in our face every single day. This person's here, that person's there, da, 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 da. It's not realistic, you know, and we don't need to see it. When you look around you, be fucking grateful for what you have, because there is someone out there looking at what you have and would think, oh God, I would die to have that life. There is someone looking at your life, fucking wishing, praying for your life, okay? So with that being said, good night, all right? If you use my code at Conte, thank you very much, Joe10, saves you 10% off on all these delicious goods and obviously health supplementation, performance subs that I showed you earlier. And if you use my code at Vanquish, VQ, they got a new drop tomorrow, I think. So by the time this comes out, maybe, Golden Boy, which is the 3/4 zip tracksuit that I wore in the last 2 videos gone. So yeah, Joe15 saves you 15% off. If you use it, thank you very much, love you. Send me a screenshot and I'll thank you. Peace out, till next time.